you got a colonoscopy?
Oh, thank you. Let's start right there.
I'm really pissed off, by the way. My Celtics lost in double overtime last night, so I'm not happy.
Was that the Raptors game? It was.
Yeah. You know, I think they all should be traded.
Are they out now? Because I shut off when I went on vacation.
No, the game 7 they're down to a game 7 with Toronto. Whoever wins moves on. But you don't want to like watch sports with me because I'm always like they should trade him. Like there's just one mistake, and I'm like, and it's like Kemba Walker, great player. Trade him. This is ridiculous. Immediate trade. I'd be the worst GM ever. It'd be like, trade. It'd be like in Austin Powers. I just hit the button and a trap door would open on the court. Guy would fly into a pit of fire, and then a new guy would go off. We're all interchangeable, like comedians. We're all interchangeable. They're all interchangeable.
Yeah. So I hate to bring this up, but how are your Red Sox doing?
Just go fuck yourself. How about that?
Oh, no. Really? They're that bad?
They traded away everybody. I think they're. Oh, they beat a little league team last night, actually.
Right. Didn't they play St. Matthews of the Burning Ashes? Didn't they play against them also?
They went extra innings with a little league team, and they still lost. They traded, they let Mookie Betts get away. They're like trading everybody away, and they're going to build from ground zero. But the problem is they don't have a farm system because they let that go because they were focused on spending money. John Henry, I guess, is not making enough off a Fenway Frank that's floating in water all night with hair in it. $7 and a bun they pretend is fresh, but it's not because when we're Italian, the bread, when someone tries to snow you on bread, they put like a restaurant, they'll heat it up, and then after about a minute, it starts to cool off, and you can feel where the crust is. And that's usually when I take a shit right on the table. Apparently, that's my Yelp review. Yeah.
I was saying last week that I actually love football on TV, right? Because the seating's better, the room is more comfortable, right? The food is great, right? There's nobody around. It smells fine, right? I could go to the bathroom whenever I want. And as a matter of fact, I could pause the game so I can go to the bathroom. Right? Baseball, everybody can we can't go to the stadium. Who gives a rat's ass?
Yeah.
Right? Why are we worried about that 34,000 people when the rest of us don't go? So
exactly. And plus, you don't run the risk of getting into an argument about politics with somebody next to you at a game, which always ends up it's like, he's wearing some kind of a hat, and then it's like, whatever. And I like watching baseball live. I think baseball live is good, and it's quiet.
You can nap.
The nice thing is it's quiet, so you can yell personal insults at the players because you'll never see them again anyway.
I've got a great one of those stories.
What?
Right? In the old Veterans Stadium. Right?
Yeah.
I had this friend Brian who was who was trying to become an umpire. So he started in the minors and stuff like that. And eventually he gave it up because you got to wait for somebody to die and move on up the chain and all that. But we were at the old Veterans Stadium when Pete Rose was playing for Montreal, right? And we were in a box and this is when Pete Rose was playing like left field. Okay, so we were in a box.
There. Left field is good because it's kind of slow, so you have time to gamble in between pitches.
Right. So we're there, and at that time they used to get popcorn came in these cones, right? So Brian rips the end off the cone and starts taunting Pete Rose to the point right? But and you know, and Rose his back is to us, but we're in the box right above where he is, so he hears everything. And him with this megaphone now from the popcorn box is making it real clear about everything he knows about Pete Rose, about ex-wives, all kinds of stuff, right? And Pete's there with his little baseball cap on, and you know, and for the rest of the stadium, they don't see what's going on, and Pete keeps going like this on the back of his on the back of his hat, right? You know, so eventually Brian taunts him to the point that when a ball starts coming his way, and because of the taunting, I'm convinced because of the taunting, Pete missteps, twists his ankle, never plays another Major League Baseball game. That was the last game of his career. Right? And from that point on, he was managing and stuff, you know, and gambling, of course. But do you believe Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so do I.
Yeah. It's
So do
like, I mean, he did something he wasn't supposed to do. I don't, you know,
He paid the price.
he paid the price. Did he throw games? I don't know.
I doubt it.
I doubt it, but I can't say he did. I can't say he didn't.
Mhm.
But you know, you got other guys that, you know, these guys are, you know, using steroid. I mean, Ryan talks about, you know, not Ryan. Who are the two brothers? The that is with a K or something. The two brothers that pitched in the big leagues for a long time. But one of them
You're
talks.
talking to the wrong guy.
One of them talks when he talks about. There's a whole piece on him. You can find it on YouTube where he just talks about the different places he would put substances to wet the ball. You know, he'd say you put some down in here where your waistband is, or you put some back here, or you go down to tie your shoe and you lift the flap of the shoe with the tongue and you
All
put it
right.
there. And I don't know why that's any more, any less the cheating than, you know, like what Rose did. I mean,
Right.
I mean, there's no cheating involved unless he fixed the game, in which case that is cheating because he did. But is that any worse than?
But on his numbers alone, he belongs in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And Bart Giamatti is dead now. Bart, I'm sorry, but we're putting him in.
But his son continues to live as an actor, and maybe
Right.
his son has some sway over the Hall of Fame. I don't even know, like, you know, like, do you think Barry Bonds isn't going to get in? I don't think A-Rod's going to get in. Do you?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even though
No, well, probably not, because what they did seriously affected their numbers, right? What Rose did had nothing to do with his numbers. You're putting the player in, you're not putting the manager in,
right.
right?
Well,
You
I
know,
think
so
A-Rod should get in for banging J-Lo. I think that alone gets you in. You
that,
know,
yeah.
okay,
But
J-Lo.
they lost the Mets. They lost the Mets, so.
They did. Who ended up buying the Mets?
Somebody with more money.
I mean,
I, I mean, you know, and Steve from the show was very upset because he loved A-Rod as an analyst, and he goes, if he becomes an owner, he can't be an analyst anymore. So
yeah,
Steve's
yeah.
happy. So
He is a good analyst, although he was so like politically like whenever he did a presser or anything like that with the reporters when he was a player, it always felt like, I mean, if you just felt like it was a politician who was uh, given a serum of more insincerity, like he was a politician to like the 10th level. Like it's like there's just something not, I don't know, but I mean, I can't feel bad for the guy. You know, he's got gazillion dollars. He's got a hot girlfriend.
right.
One of those two kids
And
gonna
in
get.
all honesty, I honestly am hoping that this marriage works out. You know, every once in a while you get these Hollywood celebrities or sports people, whatever it is, and their lives have been, you know, and especially celebrity women who just are constantly picking the wrong guy, right? You know, and with these two, it looks like this might work. I know maybe it's a Hispanic thing, maybe that's what he need if she needed all that time, right? But what she really needs is me, but I'm Sicilian.
So you, by the way, my bird situation has not gotten any better. You know, I've got these birds on either side of the house. I told you that, right?
Well, I think, well, I'm
So
not
where I am
familiar.
in Connecticut, I got a house, and then there's people to on one side of me that have a lot of bird feeders, and there's people.
Right. Now I remember.
Okay, for people watching who don't know, so we don't have any bird feeders because I hate birds, and
How can you hate birds?
then I'll tell you why in a second. So they basically what they do is they get fed a whole bunch of food on either side of me. And they they all chow down in this guy's house, right? And then they go, "Oh, wait, there's another restaurant we can go to just two doors down."
Side, right?
They go, and they realize, "Oh, I'm full. I got to take a shit and get rid of some of this." And they do it all over my property, all over my cars to relieve themselves so that they can go have dessert at the house next. My house, you laugh, is like the Pearl Harbor of this neighborhood, and I'm just getting bombarded by these friggin' birds like Japanese fighter pilots. One of them went so nuts, it dove itself just like the kamikaze pilots would do in World War II into the side of my house and snapped its own neck. That's how aggressive these birds are. They're sparrows. I have officially got a flamethrower, and and I got a cigar, and, and we go there.
There you
Woo!
go.
I'm gonna have I'm gonna have fried sparrow falling from the sky. I can hit. There's like a squad of 15 that fly together, and they got bandanas and switchblades. They're a very angry group of birds. They're very aggressive. One of them is packing a gun. Like, these aren't your average cute sparrows. So I feel like the only way to deal with this is I either that or I go with a chainsaw and I take down all these bird feeders and bird houses next to my house.
You have two other choices. You do have two other choices. One is put up a damn bird feeder.
I will.
That could, you know, that'll prevent them from flying over the house, right? You know, the other is, right, and I would try this, an air horn. Right?
Yes.
And whenever they're gathered, just right, watch them scatter. Then again, you could scare the shit out of them, which would only end up on your house.
Exactly. I had my car window open, and this much the window, and one of them managed, like a bomber in the war, like a plane with a bomb. It released its ammunition, and the thing got it right into the window on the ledge. You know, there's a ledge in the window,
Right.
right where the ledge is, inside my car. Inside my car. And they don't have a good diet. It's not like, there's blueberries in there and figs and little cat brains in the feces. It's not, it's bad on every level. I think the air horn could be good, but the problem is, I think it might upset the neighbors a little bit, especially two of them are pretty old. So, a little heart attack.
Well, then they won't be putting food in the feeders anymore. So, you see, my math is working.
You are a problem solver. That's what I like about you.
That's it, right? Right.
So
Lisa doesn't think so. She thinks I'm a problem creator. But...
So you went and you got the thing? You had the thing?
The hose? Yeah.
How was it?
What's that?
I had a colonoscopy.
Right.
A while ago, though. How was yours?
Swell. I mean, I have no idea. Look, you get Michael Jackson juice, right? They give you propofol, right? It's the only reason why I'd go for one of these every year if they'd let me.
Did you cleanse? You had to cleanse for a day, right?
Oh, that's the worst part.
I know.
That is the worst part. Everybody, every guy who says they don't want to do this has got some sort of homophobic thing of them, sticking this hose in your ass. I have to tell, for guys out there who have never had this done, first off, anybody who's had this done will tell you every time it's the best nap you will ever have. It is a perfect nap. But the first time I went in, right, you walk in there, and it is, it's basically it's a hose with a camera on the end. But the hose it's small. It's only like this. It's not like somebody's going garden hose or something like that, right?
Really?
And when
Because
you
my doctor, the hose said Home Depot right on it. I'm like, is this the right procedure? Right? Am I in the right place? But
well, the first time I went, this is the third time I've had it done, and the first time I went, I walk in the room and I'm a little nervous about what's going on, what's going to happen, right? And then you see this hose, right? In the office I was in this time, it wasn't as visible as it was the first time, and it's got foot markers on it. And it says 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 foot. Because remember, it's going to go through your intestines. They're going to go and look at everything, not just your asshole. They're going after everything, right? So you see that, and you're like, whoa, right? How much of that can I take?
You immediately start going, because you were American and everything's a competition. Like, boy, I hope I get to 4 feet. If I don't get to 4 feet, it's going to be a huge disappointment to my Sicilian family.
But I want you to know you did come up in the room.
Ooh.
I did bring you up in the room.
Well, right? Usually when there's a conversation of assholes, my name comes up.
So I go into the room this time, and I'm looking at this one monitor, and it's got this strange picture on it that like it's through a lens, and I realize what they have done is they put the hose to the side, and it is laying on a desk, and I'm trying to figure out what kind of picture is that. And all of a sudden I realize, no, that's the camera that's going up your butt. So, and I'm in there, and all you could do was make jokes in the situation, and and 4 people in the room, 2 knew who I was, the other 2 didn't, right? And I had a bet with the anesthesiologist that they tell you, I remember the first time I did it, they told me to count backwards from 100, and I never made it to 95. Right?
Really?
Yeah, so I'm telling you, propofol is some good stuff.
That's right? That's your whole immune system to those drugs is broken down from your 60s, the days.
Right, exactly. Right? Yeah. So this time I turned to the anesthesiologist and said, "Are you a betting woman?" And she says, "What do you mean?" Right? I said, when do you think I will go out? You're gonna have me count backwards? She goes, "Yeah." I said, 100. He goes, "No, start at 20. I said, "I'll be out by 15. Actually made it to 12.
Wow.
And they told me when I woke up, the last thing I said was, "See you later, guys." Right? And out I went. Right? And but you came up because I kept making this joke about you guys don't have any cameras, do you? I don't need these pictures getting out on the internet. I don't need TMZ getting pictures of me with this hose, right? And they laugh and stuff like that. And I said, "No, but anyway, does anybody really want to take a picture?" And they said, "What?" And I said, "My friend Paul's dying for a picture of me going through this." So they declined.
You didn't take a picture? Ah, come on.
If I took a picture, it would be right between the 2 of us right now.
You should have had them take a picture of your asshole before they put the thing in, and then you should have photoshopped a mustache on your asshole. That would have gone viral. So I had it done once, and they go like, "Do you want to watch like on a screen?" They said, "Do you want to watch?" And I'm like, "Well, you got popcorn?" They said, "No." I'm like, "Well, I don't want to watch." "You got jujubes?" "No, I don't want." "You got junior mints?" "No, I don't want to watch." "Yeah," they said you could watch on the screen. I'm
but
like,
but they're gonna knock you out. How could they? Were you awake through it?
It was kind of half out. Like yeah, I don't have a great health plan, so they kind of knock you out.
Here, drink this.
Yeah, and then the doctor, he goes 2 feet in, and then after 2 feet, you got to do the rest on your own. That's the kind of health plan I have. So.
You managed to say something. I'm telling you, I'm going to Danny Thomas this entire keyboard any second now. Because every time I take a drink, you come up with some line. Right? So what's been going on in the world? What's been going on? What's been going on in the world? Because when I'm on vacation, I shut off. I watch no news.
Well, you know that you heard about the book Rage that Bob Woodward has got.
I caught a piece of that yesterday.
And I just think, I don't know, the whole thing to me, whole news cycle for the last 3.5 years has been, Trump did what? Can you believe it? Like, why is anybody surprised at anything anymore? Like, like what's that? He swallowed cat's whole? Yeah, he does. He dipped him in soy sauce, low sodium soy sauce. He's watching the thing.
Right.
It's like, and so I guess he said, yeah, I'm downplaying the pandemic, and he can't help himself. He did 18 interviews, and now he's saying that he did 18 interviews
with Woodward.
With Woodward, all recorded,
right.
and he would like, he would do it like late at night. He'd just call him, like, he'd be like, "Hey Bob, what are you wearing?" No, he got like but he was calling him on his own, separate from his. I mean, I think his staff, they say, tried to talk him out of doing it, but his kryptonite is press, and so it sounds like what happened was, Bob Woodward wrote a book on George Bush that wasn't very favorable, so Trump wanted him to write this book, but write it in a favorable way. So Trump thought, if I keep talking to the guy and keep saying, "Hey, you're going to write a good book now, right? You're going to write a good book." It's like, yeah, like what? It's like, a girl dating a guy, and the guy's like, "You're going to call me later, right?" "Yeah, I'm going to call you." "Yeah, yeah, I'm going to call you. Take your pants off." "Yeah, I'm going to. No, we're going to get married." "Yeah, we're going to get married. We're going to get married. I like it this way. Do it right there." Like so like, why would you think, if you're a Trump, that Woodward's is even going to remotely write the kind of book you want to write? He's going to write the book he wants to write. He's Woodward, right? So,
right.
So say he called, so he basically said that he downplayed. On February 7th, he was interviewed in this interview by Woodward, and at that time he said, "Yeah, this is 5 times worse than the flu. This is Trump, and I'm downplaying it." In March, he said, "I'm downplaying it intentionally because I don't want to create a panic. I don't want to create a panic," which is, translation, I want to get reelected, so I'm not going to tell anybody, and people can die. So who wants to die so I can be in office? I do. So I got it because of that asshole. And now Woodward's getting hassled because they're saying, "Well, why didn't you let this out sooner? Because you had this tape going back to February and March. Why didn't you tell the world that Trump is, why did you hold it?" So
because Woodward didn't need the press then.
Exactly.
Now that the book is coming out, now he needs the press.
Exactly. And so, and so of course Biden's like screaming about it, and and like, I don't know. I just think the whole thing, nothing surprises me. The guy, Trump, doesn't care about just anything beyond the sort of like, okay, well, what keeps me in office? This is a guy who thinks his daughter's hot, and
of all the stuff that he does,
yeah.
The Ivanka stuff is what makes me the most uncomfortable.
I know.
The most uncomfortable. Like, I'm like, I don't know how my brother. I have 2 nieces who are gorgeous, right? And they're built like you want them to be built, right? And I don't think I could live through that. I don't think I could. I don't know how my brother did it. I guess when they are your own, for most people, you get to push that aside, right? But in Donald's case, and she is beautiful. She's a gorgeous woman.
How old are your nieces?
One is a freshman in college, and the other one is probably like 23. So so you got 18 and 23.
What's the 23-year-old? What's her email? Can you send it to me? I just want to.
What, check. The 23-year-old?
Yeah, she, just saying, in case my marriage doesn't work out,
That's there have been a number of the next Mrs. DeBellas out there over the years, right? And I'm beginning to realize that, first off, I'm never going to get divorced. I mean, as much as I goof on Lisa, right? I love her, and and I probably wouldn't be alive today if I didn't have her, and I would definitely be a much poorer man, right? But
right, she she does all the finance.
Yeah, she does everything, right? So as I age, I begin to realize that all of these possible next Mrs. DeBellas, they won't even talk to me, right? It's like, oh, isn't he cute? When you get to that age where, like when I was in a coffee shop one day, and I have to admit, I mean, I am grateful for anyone who recognizes me, anybody who listens, any of that stuff. I mean, I am more in shock when people say, I listen to you every day. Oh, I always listen to you on the radio. Yeah.
Really?
And my response always is, really? It's like,
you do one of these, you look behind you, think they're talking to somebody else.
right. But I'm in this coffee shop one day and I'm going to check out, and the woman at the desk, young girl, she's like in her 20s or something like that. She says, "You're John DeBella." And I'm like, oh, look at this. The hottie recognizes me.
So you stood up and took your pants off, and then
next statement out of her mouth is, "My grandparents love you."
Oh my God.
My immediate response, I swear to you, I felt so bad that I did this at the time, but she went, "My grandparents love you." And I went, "Fuck you."
I could see you do that too. How did she?
And she was taken aback. I said, "I'm joking." I said, "I'm sorry." I said, but I wasn't.
You do have a way.
I was really upset. You don't want to hear from. You're looking at some hottie, and she tells you how much her grandparents love you, right?
Nice.
You go from like feeling like, "Hey, I'm Mr. Cool," to all of a sudden you're Ed Asner.
Are you John DeBella? Yeah. You look just like the guy in the Step in Tub commercial. Oh, you piece of shit.
Who do people tell you look like? Do people tell you look like anybody? Who do they see in you?
A slug. I got that. I look like a slug. I look like roadkill. I got a young Frank. I've gotten a lot of young Frank Sinatra.
Oh, I can see that.
I've gotten also a young Billy Crystal.
Not enough Jew in you.
Wait, let's try.
Oh, so there you go. That was very good. That was very good, Billy.
Clippers. Let's go Clippers. Come on, Clippers. Muhammad Ali. I get a lot of that. Because of my dick. Because the dick is so big. It's big and wide. And he's known that. No, those two. And then who else have I gotten? Well, I kind of get mistaken. At least before he blew up like a tick, that Paul Mecurio in Australia, which we talked about.
Right.
And I was thinking about him the other day, and I feel so much better about myself. Thank you for those pictures.
You're glad you saw those pictures now, huh?
You are a stud. And then like as a kid, I would get picked on with my lips because my lips were big. My lips were the same size then as they are now.
Uh-oh.
Everything was smaller, and I get called like fish lips and other words I can't use, and I get a lot of fights over my lips. And now people say to me, "Did you have collagen put into your lips?" Yeah. And I said, "Why don't you suck on them and see?" And then slap in the face. Apparently you're not supposed to do that anymore. There's this whole movement out there where you can't do things like that. No, I do get the collagen in the lips thing. And I always hated.
Tell them, all of us supermodels do that.
I got collagen in my lips, and one leg is shorter than the other. Do you want to see? And then they run away. But I really didn't like them. I thought, they're whatever. And women are not a lot of women, but a good number say to me, "Oh my God, I would kill for lips like that. I would kill." And I'm like, "Well, I'll dump my wife and marry you, and you can have them all the time." And again, slap in the face.
Slap in the face.
Cops are called. Lawsuits ensue. I don't know. You just can't have fun anymore. Did you? But you're in Philly. You're such a big name in Philly, especially in surrounding areas. So you must get recognized like a fair amount, like I would
Yeah,
imagine.
and,
You have
and
to look.
most people are. I get a like, yo, John. I get a lot of those, right? And and I love those. The one that gets me the most is the whisper, where like there'll be two people walking along, and I'm walking along, and all of a sudden you hear, it's John DeBella. And that one's always uncomfortable, right?
You turn around and go, yes, it's John DeBella.
It was tough for Casey when he was young because we'd be at the mall or something like that, and we'd be walking along, and someone would go, "Hey, John." I go, "Hey, how you doing?" And he would go, "Who's that?" I go, "I don't know." "Why do they know you?" "Well,
Yeah, well,
you like that bicycle, don't you?" "That's why they know me."
how's Lisa?
Uh, I saw her this morning breathing. I mean, obviously I forgot to shut off the phones.
She's why are you talking about me? That was
I
her.
wouldn't be a bit surprised.
That's almost little bat phones. Like, is that a bat cape? That's like a little like, it's like a little chirp. It's not really.
It is. It is a chirp. It is a chirp.
That's a landline, everybody. That's
Yeah,
I.
that is a landline.
I
That
got
is
a.
true.
Here,
You know,
hang on. Hang on. I'll show you something.
is it rotary?
Shut up. It's a princess.
Oh wow, there you go. It's a princess phone. Actually, no, that's a slimline phone.
Oh,
That's a slimline phone. The princess phone had a round base, not a round.
yeah. Get
It
me
was
the
an
Fed
oval.
right away. Drop interest rates. John DeBella's mustache is not symmetrical. Get someone over there. Stat pronto. This is
Somebody's actually putting out a rotary cell phone.
Why?
I have no idea. Although I wouldn't mind pulling that out of my pocket and go, hang on, let me call him. It's worth it just for the reaction.
Why don't we do that with everything? You know what? I got a really cool retro ice box. I got rid of my refrigerator and I have little blocks of ice and then chip away at it. It is so cool. And the ice is colder than the refrigeration and I'm helping the environment. That's what we should do. They literally are going to, so I guess you just do it on the thing.
Yeah, and it's about like that big, right? So you got a little dialy thing on it. It's gotta suck for text messaging. ABC. Right.
Like,
Use 9 for Z.
I texted you at like 8 this morning. How come it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon? I'm almost finished with my response. One more letter. YES. There you go. Yes. The whole thing is like, it's just a way to get you to buy something new that you don't need, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, don't you think on some level?
Oh, but beyond a shadow of a doubt. But I'm the fool who buys those things that you don't need.
You're like an electronics like
junkie. And my biggest downfall is cameras. If it has a camera on it, I own it.
Really?
Yes.
You have cameras.
I got computers with cameras. I got cameras. I've got video cameras. I've got big ass pro video cameras. I got small HD cameras. I've got a drone, right?
Really?
Oh yeah. And I have all the accoutrement that goes with that, right?
So tripods and this and lights.
Yep, and lights. Like, how do you think I have this wonderful glow today? I decided to use one of my TV lights. I'm really not I'm liking it, to tell you the truth. It's like, because I noticed the last video, I looked like I could play for the Redskins, right? Because my whole face was red. I have no idea why, right?
Well,
so
I did want to tell you, like during that conversation, that I knew you were having a heart attack, but I thought it would be hilarious if you collapsed during the conversation, but you didn't. Just a little keel over, that would really kind of get everybody's attention. Now, you have so many cameras. You had your dog's eye removed and had a camera inserted in one of his eyes.
Inserted. This way I can see what he's seeing. I've got a GoPro. I got a GoPro, of course. I've got another camera called an Osmo.
What is that?
An Osmo is a high-end lens that is on a what do they call those things? A gimbal. A gimbal is something that allows it to turn up and down, go all the way around, all kinds of stuff like that. And what you do is you attach your phone to a holder on this handle. And then you basically, wherever the lens goes, it shows up on your phone as the monitor. And in the camera, there's a SD card. So it's saving it all. So it's a great little toy.
By the way, going back to your colonoscopy, are you getting any pictures? Did anything show up in there?
One polyp that is benign.
That's great. I had mine car keys. I had misplaced these car keys, and they were right in my ass. Who knew? Well, Carol and I, my wife, play Find the Car Keys as a sex game, and apparently, we did so much crystal meth that night that we forgot where are the car keys. And I would shake my ass and it would jingle, and we're like, I don't know what that's about. And so the polyp, hey, let's name the polyp. Anybody watching, let's name John's polyp. That'll be a game. You write it.
I'll ask if I could keep it.
Did they take it out?
Yeah, they removed it.
Oh, you should have them put it in a jar and show it on the thing.
Hey, look, it came out of my ass.
We could still name it ass polyp. That's the working title of your polyp. Maybe that'll be let's have people name John DeBella's polyp. Is your middle name Armin? You seem like you'd be an Armin.
Me?
Yeah.
My middle name?
Yeah.
My middle name, do you want both the middle name, the birth middle name, and the confirmation name? Because I do.
McGilla, baby. Bring it on.
John Bartholomew.
Whoa.
Joseph DeBella.
Whoa, what's Bartholomew about? Where'd that
that was Grandpa.
Oh.
There was a big push to name me Bartolomeo, which was my grandfather's name, which as an adult is like, wow, that's really cool. As a kid, you're Bart the Fart.
Yeah.
So tell me about it, fish lips. Yeah. But I do have a cousin who got stuck with it. Right? He became Bart. Yeah, but he was never Bartholomew. He was always Bart. Right. So,
but it would have been Italian version of that if you did it.
Yeah, Bartolomeo. Right.
Why don't you name your polyp that?
Well, actually, no offense, but Paul the Polyp really has a ring to it.
Paulie Polyp.
Paulie Polyp.
I told Johnny Fishlips and Paulie Polyp, get over here. We got a job to do. Where's Paulie Polyp? He's over there getting some gabagol and getting his ass checked again by Dr. Fuckface. Jesus Christ. I can't run an organization like this anymore. What are we, animals? What are you doing on the rest of your vacation this week?
I'll start, today's Thursday, actually I started this morning winding up for next week. All right. Basically, and I've noticed this over the years, and people say, well, God, you take 2-week vacations. I said, yes, that's the only way I can really get a vacation, because in a 1-week vacation, like, I'm off the air Friday, I'm winding down Saturday and Sunday, Monday and Tuesday are like vacation. Oh, I got nothing to do, I can do whatever I want, and then Wednesday, it just starts rolling up.
Well, what are you prepping for?
We've got I've got a big contest starting on Monday.
What's the contest?
What's that?
What's the contest? Something I can win?
The contest is this is a great story. The contest is John DeBella's Grade School Challenge. Sound like anything you might have heard of before?
Grade School Challenge?
A grade school challenge where we ask you questions from 1st to 5th grade.
Ooh.
Right?
Ooh.
Right? What we wanted to call it is, are you smarter than a 5th grader?
Oh.
But of course, someone, remember when I told you a couple of weeks ago that I was really, really angry about people who were trying to help me? Right?
Yeah.
This is what it was all based around. Because someone decided to call the legal department, which you never should do unless you want a no for an answer.
Yes.
right? Just don't bother doing that at all, right?
Yes.
They called, and we didn't get the lawyer, we got the paralegal,
No,
and
yeah.
right. It's like, I couldn't finish the last 2 years.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, that,
Paralegal is actually was probably forwarded their call, and they were at 7-Eleven behind the counter, their second job, to make up for the lack of money that they. Yeah. So yeah.
so the paralegal, of course, calls a copyright attorney friend who, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. The contest is 2 weeks long. By the time the contest is over with, right? Right. The chances of them finding out that we did that are so small.
Right.
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 So we said, okay, and we started coming up on all kinds of variations of the name. Are you smarter than a grade schooler? Well, no, they'll understand what you're trying to say. Right. So one thing leads to another, and eventually I just throw my hands up in the air. And
How about this for a title? So you didn't want to study in grade school, huh, asshole? Is that too long?
That might be a little too long. Although I know, Steve, my producer, whenever something pisses him off, right,
Yeah.
he will bring it up constantly. So I guarantee you, on Monday, when I start talking about what this contest is, right, and and how it's going to get played, every time I mention, are you smarter? The John DeBella's grade school challenge, Steve will say something like, sounds a lot like, are you smarter than a fifth grader?
So you're going to get it out there anyway. That's hilarious.
I know the way he is. And he will find ways of twisting things to, every time we have like a big secret, listen to Steve, because he's going to give you every possible clue as to what this is.
I guess what I got to do in a couple of minutes, I got to go look at rugs.
Colonoscopy?
I got to go look at rugs with my wife.
But doesn't she have a computer? They're all online.
Oh no, we got to go because it's got to have like a rubber back, and it's got to be a certain size to go into a certain chair. And this is the moment where I wish COVID had killed me right now. That's kind of.
I have wanted to for years. Oh, but I tried doing this a couple of years ago, and it never got off the ground. But I wanted to have a men's play area at the mall. Just have it set up so you can go in there and watch a game, right, or play a video game, watch a movie, read a book. All right, honey, I'll be right here. Right, when you want me, just come here. This is where I'll be.
John DeBella, you're in the wrong place. You're cleaning your wallet out. That's in that corner of the pen where you clean your wallet out after 15 years. You're going to take a nap after you eat your sandwich. You say, that's a great idea, actually. That's a really good event.
Right. But we never got, and then somebody came up with the, have you heard about smash rooms? I mean, the Flyers have one, right? Where you go in there and you take a sledgehammer to a TV, or you bust plates and all kinds of stuff. And that's when the paralegals come running in going, oh, no, you can't do that. People might kill themselves. And that's why we have waivers.
So smash room, I guess that's what we call my kitchen when my wife burns the steak. What? Come on. I start smashing things. No, that's a good way to get out. They have therapy sessions where they have people.
Yes.
A good way to get out the, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get a giant stuffed bird, put it in my bedroom, and beat the living crap out of it. A giant stuffed bird that looks like a sparrow, and just beat it. All right, take your carry of cola. Make sure nothing falls in there that's not supposed to be in there.
Well, I think that's very healthy advice, ladies and gentlemen. I'm John DeBella. He's Paul Mecurio, and this is Two Guys on Zoom.
I still like this title.